but I shake the room.
I don't know. Mike was a little bit weird. When he was pushing me, though, he was having the time of his life.
Yeah, so when Jake and Mike did their face-to-face at the end of the press conference, first thing Mike did was come up to Jake, started throwing punches, some pushes.
He's like giggling and smiling and shit.
Last press run for Mike when the fight was first on, you were tubby. Like, you were the tubbiest I've seen Jake. So I can't blame him for calling you tubby.
Peak male performance bod is fat.
The stadium buzzed with excitement, the atmosphere electric as fans gathered for a much-anticipated Cowboys game. Among the throngs of cheering supporters, a certain figure stood out: Jake Paul, the YouTube sensation turned professional boxer, exuding confidence and mischief. He had his sights set on Mike Tyson, the legendary heavyweight champion, who was enjoying the festivities surrounded by fans and cameras. With a playful glint in his eye, Jake couldn't resist the urge to provoke the man known as Iron Mike. He approached Mikey, holding a bottle of Prime, a drink that had become his signature. "Hey, Mike, mind if I?" Jake called out, feigning innocence. Without waiting for a response, he aimed the bottle and sprayed it over Mikey, the liquid shimmering under the stadium lights. The crowd erupted into laughter, reveling in the absurdity of the moment. But Mikey's expression shifted from amusement to irritation, his brow furrowing as he took in the audacity of the young fighter standing before him. "You think this is funny, kid?" Mikey's voice boomed, a warning laced within his words. Jake, unfazed, threw a mock punch. Laughter bubbling around them. "Just a little fun, Iron Mike," he retorted, clearly enjoying the attention. But Mikey took a step closer, his demeanor changing entirely. "You better watch yourself, boy."
Awesome. Cool.
"This ain't a game," he warned, his voice dripping with authority. It was a stark reminder that behind the jovial exterior, Mike Tyson was a man who had faced the fiercest fighters in the world, a champion with a legacy etched in the annals of boxing history. As the days passed after the Cowboys game, Jake channeled the tension into his training regimen. The gym became his sanctuary, where sweat mixed with determination as he honed his skills. Each punch that landed on the pads reverberated with a fierce intensity, a testament to his dedication. Jake pushed himself harder than ever, fueled by the need to prove that he was not just a social media star, but a legitimate fighter capable of standing toe-to-toe with a boxing icon like Mike Tyson. "I'm ready for whatever Mike throws at me. This is my moment," he declared to the camera, a fiery determination in his eyes. Meanwhile, the media couldn't get enough of the growing rivalry. Clips of Jake's antics juxtaposed with serious interviews of Mike painted a picture of a young man trying to stake his claim against a titan of the sport. It was a spectacle that captivated audiences, and the stakes only seemed to rise. In one particular moment, Jake lounged on a couch, fast food spread out before him, as he watched Mikey on a podcast discussing his thoughts on Jake's physique. "He's lean, but also kind of fat. He needs to focus on discipline." Mikey's voice echoed through the room. Frustration bubbled inside Jake as he listened to Mikey's comments. Tossing aside a burger, he shouted at the screen, "Yo, Mike, you think I'm playing?" "Just wait." It was a defiant response, one that showed his unwillingness to back down. The irony of Jake's fast food consumption while preparing for a fight was not lost on the viewers, but it only fueled the narrative. Jake was a man who thrived on controversy, even as he trained for the biggest fight of his life. Mike Tyson, on the other hand, was relentless in his training, channeling his fury into every punch. In a dimly lit gym, surrounded by reporters, he paced back and forth, visibly furious at Jake's antics. "That kid thinks he can disrespect me and get away with it. This isn't a joke," he exclaimed, his voice booming like thunder. He stopped, locking eyes with the camera, intensity radiating from him. "Jake, you're gonna regret every sarcastic word you've thrown my way. This is serious business." As the fight date approached, experts weighed in on the potential outcome. A roundtable discussion featured professional fighters and Joe Rogan, who analyzed the upcoming bout with keen insight. "Mike is a legend for a reason," Joe asserted, leaning forward in his chair. "Jake might be fast, but he's stepping into the ring with a true fighter. Experience is everything." Fighter 1 nodded in agreement. "Jake's got heart, but heart doesn't win fights. Mike will make quick work of him," he stated confidently. Fighter 2 chimed in, emphasizing the mental aspect of the game. "If Jake doesn't respect the game, he's in for a rude awakening." The consensus among the fighters was clear: Jake would need more than just speed and bravado to take down a man with Mike Tyson's pedigree. As the days ticked away, anticipation built to a fever pitch. Jake's training montages filled social media feeds showcasing his relentless dedication. He was running, shadowboxing, and visualizing victory, each clip designed to build momentum and hype. Meanwhile, Mikey was hard at work too, hitting heavy bags with a ferocity that sent ripples through the boxing community. He was a force of nature, a man who had weathered countless storms in the ring and emerged victorious.
Same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
When you see Mike Tyson hitting them pads, you get a little nervous.
Here we are. Yeah, you know? Here we are. You fought against yourself and you won today.
Yes.
Look at the way he reacts. Days like that make a lot of difference in life. He fought against himself today. He came, he did the best train of the week.
Finally, fight night arrived, and the arena buzzed with palpable energy. Fans from all walks of life filled the seats, eager to witness the clash of two vastly different fighters, one a social media star, the other a living legend. As the announcer's voice boomed through the arena, the excitement reached its peak. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event, Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson. The crowd erupted, a cacophony of cheers and jeers, as both fighters made their way to the ring. Jake stepped into the ring first, the adrenaline surging through his veins. He bounced on his toes, a mixture of excitement and nervous energy coursing through him. Across the ring, Mike Tyson stood stoically, a warrior in his element. The contrast between the two was striking. Jake, with his youthful exuberance, and Mike, with the weight of experience etched across his face. The bell rang, signaling the start of round one. The opening moments of the fight saw Jake employing his speed, darting around the ring and throwing quick jabs in an attempt to unsettle Micah. Stay quick. Don't let him catch you, Jake whispered to himself, focusing on his strategy. However, Mikey remained composed, absorbing the punches with a calculated poise that only a seasoned fighter could muster. This kid has no idea what he's in for, Mikey thought, his eyes tracking Jake's movements with hawk-like precision. As the rounds progressed, the tide began to turn. Jake, though quick and agile, found himself struggling to maintain the frenetic pace. Mikey's experience shone through as he gradually began to dictate the rhythm of the fight. Jake's bravado began to wane. The reality of facing a boxing legend settled heavily on his shoulders. "You won't take me down that easily," he shouted defiantly after taking a solid hit, but even he could feel the shift in momentum. The fight reached a pivotal turning point in the later rounds. Mikey, sensing weakness, unleashed his power, landing a series of punishing blows that left Jake reeling. The crowd gasped as Jake stumbled back after a powerful right hook caught him off guard. It was a moment of reckoning, the fight unfolding in ways that the young contender hadn't anticipated. "I can't let him break me," Jake thought desperately as he tried to regroup. But Mike was relentless, moving in for the kill. In the final round, both fighters were visibly fatigued, yet Mike's experience proved to be the deciding factor. He closed in on Jake, who was struggling to maintain his composure. "You're just a kid playing with fire," Mikey taunted, his voice low and confident. In a swift motion, Mikey unleashed a powerful combination that sent Jake crashing to the canvas. The crowd erupted, a mix of shock and exhilaration sweeping through the arena as the referee began the count. As Jake struggled to rise, determination flickered in his eyes. "This isn't over," Mikey muttered weakly, but the reality was clear. Mike Tyson stood victorious, raising his arms in triumph as the crowd cheered. The fight was a testament to the power of experience and respect within the sport, a lesson that Jake was learning the hard way. In the aftermath, Jake sat in a post-fight interview, bruised but defiant. "I learned a lot tonight. Respect the game, respect the fighters. I'll be back," he stated, a fire still burning in his eyes. His resolve was palpable, and though he had faced a crushing defeat, he was determined to rise from the ashes, ready to fight another day. Meanwhile, Mikey reflected on the bout, the challenges that lay ahead, and the respect he now felt for the younger fighter. "That kid has potential, but he needs to earn respect. This sport isn't for children," he remarked, acknowledging the talent Jake possessed despite his immaturity. As the camera faded to black, capturing both fighters walking away from the ring, a sense of mutual respect began to brew beneath the surface. The clash between
Good instructions given by the ref in the early going. Mike gets it with the right hand, and ATN is down. He was really there with a punch right hand. It's up to 5.
Punches you were hitting him with, you are just
so destructive.
Yeah, I don't know how he took all those, but
And I
Too, we're getting ready for you. Same fate. I'm gonna knock out Jake Paul.
I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man the f out.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the latest drama surrounding Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Jake Paul is reportedly in full-on panic mode after Mike Tyson announced new fight details. Is the problem child about to get his world rocked? Let's find out. Jake Paul has been on a meteoric rise in the boxing world. From his early days fighting fellow YouTubers to taking on retired MMA stars, Paul has always been in the spotlight. His recent decision to ditch a previous fight to take on Mike Perry raised eyebrows and apparently ruffled Mike Tyson's feathers. Paul's victory over Mike Perry was supposed to set the stage for his next big challenge. However, this move didn't sit well with Tyson, who saw it as a slight. The baddest man on the planet is now more determined than ever to put Paul in his place. In a recent interview, Mike Tyson dropped a bombshell on Jake Paul. Not only did he announce new fight rules, but he also exposed Jake's dirty tactics. Tyson's experience and knowledge of the sport mean he knows every trick in the book, and he's making sure Jake can't use any of them in their upcoming fight. Mike Tyson, I've been in this game for 38 years. You think I don't know every secret nook and cranny to dig up someone's dirt? Jake Paul's decision to ditch his previous fight to take on Mike Perry was a slap in the face. Now, he's going to regret it. Jake Paul, known for his love of drama and trash talk, turned up the heat after Tyson's announcement. He called Tyson old, a sick chicken, and even dragged Tyson's family into the mix. But Tyson, cool as a cucumber, didn't fire back with insults. Instead, he quietly prepared, waiting for the right moment to strike. Jake Paul, I hope y'all keep that same energy when I knock this old man out. Jake's bravado might come back to haunt him. The problem child is now in full-on panic mode, sweating bullets as he realizes the gravity of his situation. The boxing community has had enough of influencer boxing and is backing Iron Mike. Tyson's return is seen as a chance to restore respect to the sport. Here's what some legends have to say. Evander Holyfield Mike's got the experience and the power. Jake's got some serious punch power, but it's not enough to put him in the same ring as Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis Jake Paul is a YouTuber who stumbled into boxing. Tyson, on the other hand, is a boxing encyclopedia. There's no comparison. Tyrone Woodley Jake's got to screw loose, man. It's going to be interesting to see how he handles Iron Mike. Both fighters are in intense training camps. Tyson's workouts are a reminder of his legendary status, while Paul's dedication shows he's taken this fight seriously. Tyson, even at 57, is training like he's still in his prime.
Too, we're getting ready for you.
His rigorous regimen is a testament to his determination. Remember when he recently had a health emergency? That's because he's pushing himself to the limit. Jake Paul is also training hard, but is it enough? His claims of knocking Tyson out might just be all talk. Boxing isn't just about throwing punches, it's about strategy, footwork, and defense. Tyson, with decades of experience, is a master strategist. Jake, on the other hand, is still learning the basics. Boxing analyst One Tyson's ring IQ is unmatched. He can read his opponent, anticipate their moves, and adjust on the fly. Boxing analyst 2 Jake has power, but he lacks the strategy and experience Tyson possesses. It's like comparing a high school football player to an NFL pro.
Do you think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very high chance of that.
Kind of insulting. It's brave, it's bold of him, but it's also, it's like, Jesus Christ, there's levels. Paul can crack.
Yeah.
100%. That knockout of Tyron Woodley is legit as fuck. He can crack.
Jake fought a guy who was his age and who was also considered a boxer, and he lost. So if you can keep fighting fucking 50-something-year-olds...
You don't think Tyson has a chance?
And making a living at it. I think that Mike Tyson has a puncher's chance against any...
Do you think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very high chance of that.
You think you can knock out Mike Tyson?
He's not the same. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that.
Stop it, bro.
Alex, you think you could beat up every white guy? What are you talking about?
I think it's a great fight. I think it is a great fight for that exact reason. Me boxing on the outside, him trying to come forward to knock me out. I have one punch power. He has one punch power. Who wins?
The night of November 15th promises to be unforgettable. Fans are eagerly waiting to see if Paul can defy the odds and defeat a legend, or if Tyson will show that he's still the baddest man on the planet. With every passing day, the anticipation for this fight grows.
Day 2, we're getting ready for you.
These are real fights. Boxing isn't just a game. If you're not 100% prepared, you're going to get hurt. This isn't some YouTube prank, it's real life, and Jake needs to understand that. Let's jump to Rogan's reaction. Don't get me wrong. The UFC commentator isn't a hater. He gives the problem child credit where it's due. You can't deny that Jake has given us some epic knockouts. I'm sure you've seen his fights with Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. Paul can crack minus 100%. That knockout of Tyron Woodley is legit as ____. He can crack. However, he's in deep waters after his recent sparring mishap. Take it from Rogan, the kid has worked hard and he's taken on some tough opponents. But this knockout is a wake-up call.
There's a big difference between fighting other celebrities or retired athletes and stepping into the ring with a real seasoned professional boxer. Jake needs to understand that. Come on. You can't compare fighting Mike Tyson to a fight with Tommy Fury or Nate Diaz. He's up against the baddest man on the planet this time, and that's not something you can rule out. Rogan's recent verbal jabs at Jake Paul's approach to training and fighting have everyone talking. The UFC commentator believes that Jake might be getting too cocky and not respecting the sport enough, and he's not alone. Fans have noticed this too. Paul hasn't taken his fight with Tyson seriously. Even for a second, ever since it was announced, he's treating this like he's stepping into the ring with a newbie. Jake's got a problem with crossing that overconfidence line, but this time he has really taken things too far. Do you think you can knock him out? I think there's a very high chance of that. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that. Jake said, but this overconfidence might just be his downfall. On the other hand, Mike Tyson, the 57-year-old beast, is gearing up like he's preparing for his debut. There's a reason why Mike's considered the best boxer of all time. He's got a champion's mindset, which means he gives every single fight his blood, sweat, and tears. No matter who the opponent is, even in a clash with Jake Paul, he's training like a beast. Mike's training footage compared to Jake's sparring fail is a wake-up call for the YouTuber-turned-boxer, to say the least. This performance has raised a lot of eyebrows in the fight world, and boxing pros are hopping on the bandwagon to share their 2 cents on the whole fiasco. Very few have praised Jake Paul for finally stepping in with tough opponents, while many others are on the same page as Rogan and believe that Jake might be in over his head. UFC President Dana White always has something to say about Jake, and he has weighed in. White has been against the Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul matchup since day one. He's a strong believer that Mike should stay out of the ring for good and respect his age. He believes that Paul is making a dirty move. Jake Paul's rise in boxing has had a significant impact on the sport. On one hand, he has brought new attention and viewership to boxing, attracting a younger audience who might not have otherwise been interested. On the other hand, his fights have sparked a debate about the integrity of the sport and the rise of celebrity boxing. Joe Rogan boxing is about skill, dedication, and genuine competition. What Jake Paul is doing might be entertaining, but it's not real boxing. Celebrity boxing is not a new phenomenon, but the scale and attention that Jake Paul has brought to it are unprecedented. His ability to generate buzz and draw viewers has made him a polarizing figure in the boxing world. Some see him as a disruptor, bringing fresh energy to the sport, while others see him as a threat to its traditions and values. Fans' reactions were like, I think Jake Paul is great for boxing. He's bringing in new fans and making the sport exciting again. Another one added, Jake Paul is a joke. He's not a real boxer and his fights are just spectacles. It's not what boxing is supposed to be about. The announcement of a fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson sent shockwaves through the boxing community. The match was billed as a clash of generations, with Tyson's legendary status and raw power pitted against Jake's youth and social media prowess. Mike Tyson, despite being 58, has shown remarkable physical condition in his recent training sessions. His dedication to maintaining his fitness and training with top coaches like Rafael Cordeiro has kept him in impressive shape. Joe Rogan Mike Tyson is still a beast. His power is the last thing to go, and he's training with some of the best in the business. Age might slow him down, but he's still dangerous. The fight was set to be a major event, drawing interest from both boxing fans and casual viewers. However, concerns about Tyson's health and readiness began to surface. Despite his impressive training, Tyson had been dealing with various health issues, leading some to question whether he should be stepping into the ring at all. Mike Tyson, I love this sport. It's given me so much and I want to give back. If that means stepping into the ring again, then so be it. The controversy reached its peak when Jake Paul announced he was pulling out of the fight. The news sent shockwaves through the boxing community, with many accusing Jake of running away from a real challenge. Joe Rogan's reaction was immediate and intense, condemning Jake for what he saw as a cowardly move. Joe Rogan, this is a cowardly move. Jake Paul has shown his true colors today and it's disgraceful. Running away from Mike Tyson? Come on, man. The backlash was swift, with fans and analysts alike questioning Jake's commitment to boxing. Some saw it as a smart business decision, avoiding a potentially career-ending fight, while others saw it as proof that Jake wasn't ready to face real competition. A fan mentioned, I can't believe Jake pulled out. He talked such a big game and now he's running away. What a joke. Another added, honestly, it's probably smart. Tyson would have destroyed him. Jake's just protecting his brand. The debate about celebrity boxing versus traditional boxing has been reignited by Jake Paul's career. On one side, there are those who believe that celebrity boxing is bringing new attention and excitement to the sport. On the other side, there are purists who believe that these fights are undermining the integrity of boxing. Joe Rogan boxing is a sport with a rich history and real athletes who dedicate their lives to it. Celebrity boxing might bring in views, but it undermines the hard work and dedication of true boxers. Celebrity boxing matches are often seen as spectacles designed more for entertainment than genuine competition. While they can draw large audiences and generate significant revenue, they can also overshadow traditional boxing matches and devalue the achievements of professional boxers. Boxing analyst celebrity boxing has its place, but it shouldn't be seen as a replacement for real competition. These matches can be fun, but they don't represent the skill and dedication required to succeed in professional boxing. The rise of celebrity boxing also raises questions about the motivations of those involved. Are these fighters genuinely interested in the sport, or are they simply looking for another platform to boost their fame and fortune? This is a question that has been central to the criticism of Jake Paul's career. Joe Rogan, Jake Paul is a smart marketer, but let's be real, fighting other YouTubers and celebrities doesn't make you a professional boxer. It's entertainment, not sportsmanship. So what's next for Jake Paul? Will he continue to seek out high profile but less challenging fights, or will he finally step up and face a real boxer in his prime? For now, Jake Paul remains one of the most polarizing figures in boxing. His ability to draw attention and generate buzz is undeniable, but his place in the sport is still hotly debated. Whether you love him or hate him, there's no denying that Jake Paul has changed the conversation around boxing. Joe Rogan, Jake Paul is a phenomenon, no doubt, but if he wants real respect in the boxing world, he needs to face real competition. Jake's future in boxing will likely depend on his willingness to take on more challenging opponents. If he continues to fight non-boxers or those past their prime, he will continue to face criticism and skepticism. However, if he steps into the ring with a legitimate contender and proves himself, he could earn the respect of the boxing community. Jake Paul, I'm not afraid of a challenge. I know I have a lot to prove, and I'm ready to take on anyone. I want to show the world that I'm serious about this sport. And what about Mike Tyson?